we have to remember the FTX fallout. A lot of that actually happened from the collapse of earlier companies 3 months before that. So we're seeing it's really only been about 1 to 2 months since the issues with FTX started. So you could see another company start to struggle in a month from now that's tied to FTX that no one really was aware of. Sometimes there's a little bit of a lag period where it takes a few months for all the for everything to be uncovered. Now, that being said, the most obvious risks right now are some of the ones you touched on, is that Genesis and then their parent company, DCG. Genesis was a large borrow lender in the space, so there was a lot of exposure to FTX. There was exposure to 3AC, which blew up earlier in the year. So those borrow lending companies in the space have certainly got themselves in a decent amount of trouble. And so that's where most of the risk is. The hope is that it's mostly contained to those borrow lend companies. And at this point now, a lot of that leverage has been flushed out. We've seen a number of bankruptcies. So most of that, in our view, is now being flushed out. But certainly over the next 3 weeks, maybe a month, you should still be cautious.
So who remains standing? I mean, who do you think is the strongest out there? And secondarily, I mean, what is the reputation of this entire space now? Is anybody going to have confidence to get involved with any of these companies going forward?
So I'll take the first part first. So from an exchange standpoint, we still like Coinbase. If you compare it to some of these less regulated exchanges out there, certainly compared to what FTX was, compared to Binance, some of these other exchanges that are less regulated, Coinbase does stand alone as the most regulated, the most has audited financial statements. There's more transparency there. So Coinbase does, from a product, from a user standpoint, users can point to that exchange as one that's more solid than other opportunities out there. But beyond that, what we're seeing is just general concern with any centralized exchange or entity in the crypto space. And so to that end, a lot of users have pulled assets into their own private wallets. One company under coverage we cover is also Compo Secure, CMPO ticker, and they manufacture a private wallet. So there should be some positive read-through to that company in that private wallet as users do pull assets from exchanges, given the risk we've seen with that. In terms of the overall crypto market, this certainly has left, for lack of a better word, kind of a black eye on the space. We're still seeing institutional investor appetite into this space, but it's changed. I think, at 2021, during the peak of the market, we talked to a lot of investors. There's a lot of excitement around it. We've now seen them become more cautious, want to really do significant due diligence in each sector before putting capital to work, and really making sure the bad actors and also all the leverage is flushed out of the ecosystem. But what we have been hearing from investors and what we've been seeing in that market is a lot of that leverage that was in the crypto markets, the actual crypto tokens, has come out of the market now, which is a good indication.